You walk into a Toyota dealership full of excitement, credit pre-approved, ready to drive off in a shiny, brand new 2025 RAV4. The salesperson is smiling, the paperwork is ready, and everything feels perfect. But what if I told you that right before you sign that dotted line, there are a few things about this car, things Toyota is not exactly shouting from the rooftops, that could either make this the smartest purchase of your life or the most expensive mistake you'll make this decade? Stick around, because what you're about to hear in the next 10 minutes might just save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of regret. Hey, this is Mark, and you're welcome to AUTOSAYS. If you're new here, we break down everything cars, the good, the bad, and the stuff the dealerships hope you never find out. Hit that subscribe button right now, because trust me, you're going to want to be here for every video we drop. Now, let's get into it, because the 2025 Toyota RAV4 story is one that starts back further than most people think, and it ends with a decision that could define your financial future for the next 6 to 7 years. Let's go back. Way back. It's 1994. The internet is barely a thing, flip phones are still science fiction, and Toyota, a company that already had a reputation for building some of the most reliable cars on the planet, decided to do something radical. They looked at American drivers and said, you know what these people want? They want something practical, but fun. Something that sits a little higher, fits the whole family, and doesn't feel like they're driving a minivan. And just like that, the RAV4 was born. It was small, it was boxy, it had this quirky spare tire hanging off the back, and Americans absolutely loved it. Fast forward 30 years and the RAV4 is no longer just a car, it is the best-selling non-truck vehicle in the entire United States, year after year. It outsells everything, sedans, hatchbacks, other SUVs, everything. In 2023, Toyota sold over 400,000 RAV4s in America alone. That is not a typo. 400,000. To put that in perspective, that's more than the population of Cleveland, Ohio, all buying the same car in 1 year. So when Toyota announced the updates for the 2025 model, the entire automotive world leaned in. And what they found, well, that's where things get really interesting. Now, here is where we need to talk money, because this is not just a car purchase, this is a financial commitment, and most people walk into it completely blind. The 2025 RAV4 starts at around $32,000 for the base LE trim. That sounds reasonable, right? But here's the thing nobody tells you at the showroom floor. By the time you add destination charges, dealer fees, the optional packages that suddenly seem absolutely necessary when a smooth-talking salesperson is standing next to you, and taxes, you are easily looking at $36,000 to $39,000 out the door. And if you're financing, which the majority of American car buyers do, and you're stretching that over a 60 or 72-month loan at today's interest rates, which are sitting between 6 and 8% for most buyers, you are paying somewhere between $500 and $600 every single month for 6 years. Do the math on that, and you're looking at total payments that can easily exceed $44,000 on a car that's sticker priced at $32,000. That gap, that is called the true cost of ownership, and it is the number that dealerships are hoping stays invisible to you. But wait, don't go anywhere, because we are about to flip this whole thing around and show you how the RAV4 can actually work in your favor financially. Stay with me. Here is what makes the 2025 RAV4 genuinely exciting, and I mean this, the excitement is real. Toyota has been cooking something. The 2025 model comes with an upgraded infotainment system, a larger 10.5-inch touchscreen that is finally responsive the way a $10,000 upgrade should be. They've overhauled the interior materials, giving it a cabin that feels far more premium than the price suggests. Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 is now standard across every single trim, which means automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, and a pre-collision system that is so advanced it can detect cyclists and pedestrians in low visibility conditions. This is not just technology for the sake of technology. This is the kind of safety infrastructure that insurance companies look at and reward you for. In fact, studies from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety show that advanced safety features like these can reduce rear-end collision rates by up to 50%. And when you reduce collision rates, you reduce insurance claims. And when you reduce insurance claims, you reduce your premiums over time. So the safety tech on this car is literally paying you back. But here's the plot twist that nobody in the mainstream auto media is talking about loudly enough, and this is the part where I need you to sit up straight because this changes the whole equation. The RAV4 Hybrid. If you're shopping for a 2025 RAV4 and you're not at least seriously considering the hybrid version, you're leaving money on the table. Here's the history lesson that matters. When Toyota first launched the Prius back in 1997, most people laughed. They said Priuses were slow, weird-looking, and just a gimmick. Sound familiar? Well, those people who bought the Prius anyway ended up saving thousands in fuel costs when gas spiked to $4 and $5 a gallon in the mid-2000s and again in 2022. Toyota has been perfecting hybrid technology longer than any other automaker on Earth, over 25 years of refinement, and the result in the 2025 RAV4 Hybrid is a powertrain that delivers 219 horsepower, all-wheel drive standard, and a combined fuel economy of around 40 miles per gallon. Now, compare that to the standard RAV4's 27 to 35 miles per gallon. If you drive the American average of 15,000 miles a year, the hybrid version saves you roughly $400 to $500 in fuel annually. Over a 6-year ownership period, that's nearly $3,000 back in your pocket. And because the RAV4 Hybrid uses regenerative braking, your brake pads last significantly longer. Toyota hybrid owners routinely report going 100,000 miles or more before their first brake job. That's another $400 to $600 in savings right there. Are you starting to see how this car, when chosen wisely, actually fights back against its own cost? But here is where I have to slow down and be completely honest with you, because this is AUTOSAYS and we do not do fluff here. There are real concerns about the 2025 RAV4 that you deserve to know before you buy. First, let's talk about the elephant in the showroom, dealer markups. Despite what Toyota's official MSRP says, many dealerships across the country are still adding anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 in market adjustment fees on RAV4 models, particularly the Hybrid and the TRD off-road. This is completely legal, and unless you know to ask, unless you walk in informed, you will pay it and never think twice. Second, and this one is important for long-term owners, the 2025 RAV4 still uses a continuously variable transmission, or CVT, in the standard non-hybrid models. CVTs have gotten dramatically better over the years, but Toyota's specific unit in the RAV4 has historically drawn criticism for that rubber band sensation under heavy acceleration. It's not dangerous, but if you're someone who values a crisp, responsive driving feel, this might bother you every single day for the next 6 years. Third, cargo space. The RAV4 offers 37.5 cubic feet behind the rear seats. That sounds like a lot until you stand next to a Hyundai Tucson, a Ford Escape, or a Honda CR-V and realize that several of those competitors offer more usable cargo space at similar or lower price points. This doesn't make the RAV4 a bad choice, but it means your buying decision should be deliberate, not just brand loyalty on autopilot. Now, let's talk about resale value, because this is where Toyota absolutely destroys the competition and where the RAV4's financial story becomes genuinely compelling. According to Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds historical data, the RAV4 consistently ranks among the top 3 SUVs for 5-year resale value in its entire class. A RAV4 purchased today retains approximately 55 to 60% of its original value after 5 years. Compare that to a comparable American brand SUV, which might retain only 45 to 40%. What does that mean in real money? If you buy a $35,000 RAV4, in 5 years, it's worth roughly $19,000 to $21,000. A competing SUV bought at the same price might be worth only $15,000 to $16,000. That difference, $4,000 to $5,000, goes directly back to you when you trade in or sell. Suddenly, the Toyota tax, that slight premium you pay up front, starts to look less like an expense and more like an investment. And Toyota's track record on reliability is not an accident. It's the result of decades of disciplined engineering philosophy called Kaizen, a Japanese concept of continuous incremental improvement. Every year, every model, Toyota makes small targeted fixes based on real-world data. The 2025 RAV4 benefits from 30 years of that accumulated refinement, and that matters more than any flashy new feature from a brand with only 2 or 3 years of SUV experience. So here is where we land, and I want you to feel this final piece all the way down to your decision-making core. The 2025 Toyota RAV4 is not a perfect car, nothing is, but it is an extraordinarily intelligent car for the right buyer. If you are someone who plans to keep their vehicle for 5 or more years, who values long-term reliability, who wants resale value that protects your financial position, and who is willing to spend a little time negotiating past the dealer markup, this car deserves to be at the very top of your list. If you go hybrid, the financial argument becomes even stronger. The savings stack on top of each other: fuel, brakes, insurance discounts, residual value, until the hybrid essentially earns back a significant portion of its own price premium. But here is the cliffhanger I'm going to leave you with, because the 2025 RAV4 story is not finished yet. Toyota has quietly been hinting at something big for the next generation. Rumors out of Japan suggest the RAV4 is going fully electric for the 2027 model year, which means the 2025 and 2026 versions may be the absolute last of a legendary lineage, the last gas-powered RAV4s, and historically, the final years of an iconic model generation hold their value exceptionally well, sometimes even appreciating above original purchase price in the collector market years later. Is that a reason to buy one right now? Possibly, but that full breakdown is a video for another day. If you want to see that video the moment it drops, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because that information could make you money. And if this video helped you see the 2025 RAV4 in a way you had not before, drop a like below. It takes 1 second and it tells us to keep making content exactly like this. This is Mark at AUTOSAYS, and I will see you in the next one.